Ted Harro is founder of Noonday Ventures, a management consultancy whose mission is to help organizations turn vision into results through a proven team-based management process first pioneered by one of Peter Drucker's associates. Ted's team includes world-class experienced leaders with deep functional expertise in sales, technology, HR, and general management who help coach leaders, clients, involved in implementing key organizational initiatives. Did I do a good job there? Did I hit the key stuff? You good with that?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that
Well,
sounds impressive,
I
man.
know. If only. Ted, Ted, so good to see you again. I hope you're holding up well throughout this whole thing.
So far, so good. Thanks. Good to see you too, Dave.
Let's just jump in. I was fascinated by a recent blog post that you made. It was nice and short and sweet, and the title of it was called "Real Strength." What's the difference between real strength and fake strength?
Yeah, I was actually really intrigued by the whole. A lot of us are in a position of weakness, and we're trying to deal with how do we do. Do we
Go
want to
ahead.
start that again? Do you hear that? Okay.
Let's just do it.
Okay. Yes, very garage. So a lot of us are really in a position where we're in more proximity with our weakness than we've ever been, and I watched people, all of us, react to it, and it got me thinking about what's real strength instead of kind of fake strength. And I see fake strength all around me, as I'm sure you do too. It often looks like anger and outrage and just lots and lots of energy and indignation. And I started just thinking about the people who I know who are really strong people, and their strength is a lot quieter usually, and a lot deeper. And it reminded me actually of a mentor I had many years ago who talked about a word that we don't talk about at all in the marketplace, but a word of gentleness. And he talked about how gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is actually strength under control. It's really, really saying I'm a strong person, but I can control it for the benefit of other people.
Mhm.
And so for me, real strength is strength where I have a deep centeredness to who I am as a person. And I can be very present with people and have all kinds of resources for them, but it's under control and it's for their benefit. It's not to make me look big and strong and full of bravado.
Mhm.
It's really for them. And as soon as they don't need my strength, I can recede back into the background again.
Got it.
So it's a strength that is very unself-conscious about
Mhm.
how it makes you look.
That's excellent. Also, in the blog, you brush up against the topic of humor and
Yeah,
utilizing a sense of humor.
yeah,
It's a bit of a minefield these days
it
in
is.
dealing with humor. Can you just share a couple thoughts about the challenges related to flexing your sense of humor?
Yeah, well, I would say that I agree with you. It's a very sensitive time humor-wise right now. What I really meant in that post was the primary place to apply our humor is with ourselves,
Mhm.
is to not take ourselves too seriously. That's actually what helps us be strong people because we're not worried about how we look because we know that we don't look all that great. And that's actually a strong person who can say, I know that I don't have to look awesome. I don't have to impress anybody because in my center, I'm just, it's all good.
Right.
So you can actually laugh at yourself. And so my word for myself in this time about humor is um, make myself the subject of humor way more than trying to make somebody else because most of us are really on edge. And
Yeah.
if somebody we don't know pokes at us, we're not going to take it well.
Yeah, not good.
But we can poke at ourselves, and that actually is humanizing
That's right.
because people can say, "Oh, that person's a real human." They can
It
laugh at themselves.
right. It disarms people. Yes.
Yeah. And I would say in this time, if there's one thing we need from all leaders of strength, it's actually the humanizing. It's
Right.
saying, I'm with you.
Right.
I'm not above you, better than you,
Right.
stronger than you. I'm actually with you. And together we're going to get through this. Let's go. That's the kind of strength that I think we need right now.
That's excellent, Ted. And just to wrap up, you get the question everybody gets, which
Yeah.
is what lessons have we learned during this COVID-19 coronavirus crisis? That what lessons have we learned that we must not forget?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned, and I think a lot of my friends as well, is that nothing matters if you can't manage yourself first in the middle of a crisis. It's kind of like, I've been chatting with friends. It's like when we used to ride airlines, and they would tell you, when the oxygen mask pops out,
Yep.
first put it on yourself, and
Yep.
then you can help somebody else.
Right.
Um,
Right.
if I'm not doing a world-class job at helping myself through the crisis, I can't be much good to anybody else. That's probably what I would say I've learned the most, and I hope that we as a business culture learn is the value of self-leadership in the middle of a challenge.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing. Good
You're welcome.
observations. Maybe at some point in the not too distant future, we could loop back around and see what kind of progress we're making, okay?
I love it. Thanks, Dave.
Have a good rest of the day. Take care.
All right, you too.